You're tuned in to the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast.
Welcome back to the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast, where we are showcasing the coolest brands and gifts while featuring movers and makers. I'm your host, Lenore. I really feel that I'm going to school or to work with these planners right in front of me. But today we are going to get our life organized on this episode with the strawberry planner. Now I have the 1 month planner, the 6 month planner. It is a self-care planner that helps you prepare and, keeps you accountable. So their founder, Marisol Prado, is on the line to share how the strawberry planner will help keep you stress-free. Marisol, welcome to the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I can't tell which one I like more. Do I like the 1 month? Do I like the 1 month because it feels nice, or do I like the 6 months because of the spiral binding? How am I going to choose?
We're actually working on making sure that the soft cover, right? Like it's so soft.
It's like I can put them on my face. That's how I feel. I don't want to put your 6 month there. I want your 1 month.
Right. So we're trying to combine this and making sure that the soft cover at some point can be in the spiral. We're working on it.
I support you. I 100% support you. Now, how did you start the strawberry planner?
Yeah, so it comes from the dark days, but it has a very positive ending.
But isn't that how a lot of things start? Like I don't want to sound bad, but like when you're down and out and you think that you've hit a rock bottom, something always, the light is there and it helps, and whatever that project is or whatever that aha moment is, it helps bring you back to you.
Exactly. It reminds you who you are at that point and what you actually want to do. So I started the strawberry planner in October of last year. And of course, I'm sure many people were struggling with COVID and, every other obstacle that came with it. But basically I had a moment of losing my grandfather to COVID. So definitely dark days. And I was also working at a company for a while that was very corporate almost. And I also moved because of COVID from Boston to Miami after being in Boston for 6 years. So it was family changes, career changes, little environmental changes, and it was too much. So I actually had my first ever panic attack, which sometimes I have to wear a badge, I'm with you people, whoever had one too, I have one too, that type of thing. But basically, it was, like I said, dark days. I felt very helpless. All the different categories of life that I just mentioned were kind of very obscure to me. But I was like, you know what? Now I know what I'm dealing with. Now I know how it feels like. Let me prepare. And what better to prepare than a planner? Literally, right?
Actually having things written down. I tried planning my week out in my phone, and I really don't think everything is in that calendar. It's not there. It's
right?
Really not there. I'm the type of person that wants to visually see something. So at my desk, I have all these scrap papers of, I don't even know what's on there. Credit card numbers, probably important information, but who knows? Who knows? But having it together in one, kind of affirmation and setting your goals and your missions is probably very, very helpful.
It's also a very good reminder, let's be real, phones are amazing, but then you have ping of notifications, whereas the planner is I am yours now. You're looking at me with no distractions. So anyways, that's how Strawberry Planner came to be. I realized that for self-care, you need to be prepared. Sometimes it happens after a fall, but honestly, that's how you prepare for the next time.
Why strawberry? And not banana or peach or other fruits or vegetables?
So I have a secret. So the company is called True Valentini. True as in be true to yourself. But strawberry is something where Strawberry Fields. Do we remember that song? It's kind of it nostalgic, but then fun at the same time. And wow, that just came together with my nostalgia and then attempts to, be positive and work through things. So that's why strawberry.
Okay, I'm gonna open up the 6 month one just because it has the spirals and I probably think it's better for me to show. So we open up. Yeah. We'll open up together show and tell. Hello, darling. Hi, Marisol. This is cute. I actually really like that.
About the cover, starting May, If anyone wants, like, we can definitely personalize the cover and the like entrance. So for my first 25 customers, I wanted to be cute and like say thank you. And I actually like dedicated something to them in the bottom that had like their name. So it's something that like we're always trying to be personal as much as we can.
That's actually really awesome. So I think that's great because it's basically in order to make, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Order and then you make them. So they're not all there and everything gets to be personalized for every individual and every customer. Make to order. Maybe that's the phrase.
Yes.
There we go. I was
like print on demand, basically.
Yeah. I was going to get there eventually. I'm glad we got there together. Okay, so page 1. Hello, darling, hugs and kisses, baby. Next one. Now, how do we get started? Like, I feel like I would just need you to help me walk through this.
Yeah, so basically, it's just a reminder of like the planner might be minimal, like the little note that's here, but it really is all about what you have to put into the planner. So make it your own, like scribble, draw, put stickers. So it's just a note, a reminder of like, be who you are. Like the planner is structured, but it's also flexible for you. Then the next page is basically a table of contents, which it doesn't have pages, and that's on purpose. It's like, just find your way through. It's kind of like a little like scavenger hunt at that point. Like it is in order of what comes first, but it kind of like not forces you, but invites you to go through the pages as opposed to skipping somewhere, right?
Because you're always like, oh, I need to do my mind exercises. Page 12. And then I'm just going to go through and forget that like, oh, I wanted to do my gratitude promise, but like I'm already going to page 12.
Exactly. And like the order is intentional, right? Like the next page, as you saw, is the gratitude prompt. So it's kind of like saying, before I plan, before I see anything, before I make, dreams, what am I thankful for today, right? Like at this moment, before I change anything. So that's the gratitude prompt section. Then the next page is mindset exercises. And that, I think this is one of the hardest pages, but the one that's really going to like push through, right? So this page right here is a mindset exercise. So it's kind of based on research. Well, it is based on research that I actually did at Harvard when I was a student in college. And it's basically growth mindset versus fixed mindset. And a lot of people say, like, for example, I'm bad at math, so that's it. Whereas these prompts really push through and they're like, are you bad at math, or should you study a little bit more and put some effort, and like, it'll be great. You'll be good at math.
Probably. So, for me, put the effort in.
It's like the magic page. It like pushes through.
It's the telling me I'm lazy page.
Perhaps.
You didn't disagree. You didn't disagree.
Yeah, at that point you need to be like, what can I do differently for that?
This is the whole part of the strawberry planner, to reevaluate yourself.
Exactly. Then it comes to self-care assessment, and that is mostly for the visual. I've definitely seen a lot of other planners where it's like full, questions in sentence format, whereas these are just, filling in the bubble of wherever you fall in a category. And that's visual because if you see that all your bubbles are on the left, that means you're disagreeing on self-care habits, which the goal is to make all the bubbles on the right, which means like you're satisfying your self-care needs. So that's the visual play of it.
Then I rest when I don't feel well. That's probably disagree. I rest when I don't feel well in my own life. Now you're making me like go through my own inner thanks Marisol.
Then the next page,
Wheel of Life.
Exactly. It's actually 3 pages about the same, I guess, like methodology, which is the Wheel of Life. It kind of makes you rate your life in different categories. And again, it's just to visually see what are your gaps of opportunity. Then the next 2 pages are based on that, which is when you actually plan on how you want to close those gaps, basically. So like personal growth, health and fitness, etc. So what do you think so far?
I actually do have one question. Now, with all of these where we started, this planner, the ones we're looking at is 6 months. So does that mean every month I reevaluate all of this? And every month, because like I don't have table of contents, so that's why I'm asking.
Yes. At the end of the 6 months, you have all these pages again. Okay. Whereas the 1 month, you have those pages at the end of the month. So it really depends. Like, are you someone who wants to be checking in every month, which is, this is good? Or do you want the 6 month where like you're just very laser focused on the progress of your goals and then you see it at the end?
It could really go both ways. I'm actually glad to know that, like, if you wanted something short term, I don't want to call it short term, but if you wanted something short term versus long term and long term goals and short term goals, that's where you would say, I'm going to invest in 6 months versus I'm going to invest in the 1 month, depending on actually what you're trying to accomplish in your life.
Exactly. So then the next page is the daily routine.
You forgot that we have to smile.
Yeah, this is like right before you start planning. It's like, whew, okay.
I feel like I'm going to go through this and I feel like I'm just going to be talking to you. You're not going to be here. And I'm going to be like, yes, Marisol, I'm smiling. Let's go on to my top goals of the month.
Yes. So if you could share your planner first for the monthly, like put it on the screen, open like the monthly spread.
Like 2 ways. Okay. Like this?
Yes. So that is how it comes. This is what it could be.
Oh, now I see.
Yes. Just like all decorated with like stickers and, the notepads and your goals and dreams. So this is the first month where, every other monthly spread looks the same.
This is my sticker that you said wrote create space. And I'm going to have to put it on here to create space because, girl, I'm going to need more space than these three squares.
Yeah.
Make space.
It's like expand the page here.
Please. Like, can I have an insert? Is it folding?
Honestly, that's why I put the notepads for me. So I see what you're saying.
We're on the right path.
Yeah. And then just to show the last page that we could show for this is the weekly spread. So if we can do the same thing, that's the weekly. And then this is my weekly.
So
I have to say, the sticky notes.
This is great for, I know that you originally built this for like, your own personal growth, but I think this is super helpful for anybody in just career growth to be able to just take the Strawberry Planner and kind of map out their goals in their jobs versus their everyday lives. Like you can use it for both if you want to, or one or the other, but I think it'll be helpful in that aspect as well.
Well, even here with mine, I have like on Wednesday, I have to go like to a professional webinar and, I need to do like talking to my tax rep. But then the beauty about this that I hope is beautiful is that you'll notice that there are lines on one side, but it's empty on the other. And the way that I took it was this is my self-care column. So here's like walk the dog, like go to the spa. Whereas this is like my, hard to-do list. Someone else could put their grocery list or, whatever doodles. So I did like that where like, yes, you can do your professional life on the left and then your self-care on the right.
No, that's perfect. And as I continue to scroll through, now I'm in month 2 and then I just keep going down. So I'm going to try to get out of my top goals of the weeks and months and see where life takes me at the end of the Strawberry Planner.
Yeah. So after you go through those self-care assessments again, there is right on the last pages, basically, if you go to like the second to last page or something, you have the notes section.
I never thought about it, but I like that you did all the dots like a pegboard versus lines. Why? I don't know, but I like it.
That's something I struggled like with the decision making. But after doing so many different interviews, let me tell you when we get to, how we actually created the planner, but it was quite a ride and a lot of decisions were conflicting and my goals were like challenged a little bit. But yes, at the end we did go through with the grid pages. And even though I use them as lines sometimes, I have had moments where like I do a little box or I do this and that. So yeah, I don't know if you want me to talk about how I created it.
Well, one, I'm going to tell you that the grids, the dots at the end make me want to play that dot game. You know the ones when you have the two players and you try to make the squares and the boxes? Like, I loved that, first of all. So now I have that on the go. But yeah, how was the process of creating this? Because you haven't really created this is in your background. So like you had to obviously learn what goes into making a planner and graphics and printing processes.
Yes, it was overwhelming but fun. So I first wanted to see what else was out there. Obviously, like I didn't actually was like, I'm gonna create a planner like right away. I was more like, I want a planner, let me prepare. And I did go through different planners. I spent money like buying different planners. I was like, oh wait, this one doesn't work anymore. I didn't use it on the third day, and like, oh, this one's too rigid. So I personally used planners first. Then I kind of like, I was always writing notes on like, oh, I like this about this one and I like this about that. So it was first like self-discovery, like just exploration. Then I turned to the community, I turned to my friends, and I was like, you know what? I'm having a lot of thoughts, I'm having a lot of opinions, but what do people think? So I actually put an online survey on, it was the only thing on the website. Like you go to a website and it was like survey, that's it. So I put an online survey about planning habits, and I'll show the results later. And I also reached out to a friend who is a UX researcher, and she conducted interviews with people like on Zoom live, asking them, right in person, like, what are your self-care habits? What are your planning habits? So we had the online survey, the UX reviews. And then with this little baby, I sent the 1 month planner, which, I should have brought it, but I have the first sample. It had no color and it was a lot different, right? It wasn't as different in essence. But anyway, so I sent this little baby to 39 people for free. I was like, I went to my college Facebook group and I was like, if you want a free planner, let me know. And I just shipped it to them. So then at that point, I got a lot of like feedback and testimonials. People were like, put colors in it and like, make the weekly spread better. And I was like, okay, guys, okay. So anyways, I put all of the data together, and ultimately, this is the conflict. People didn't want a planner that was so rigid that they couldn't be creative and they couldn't be flexible. Because at that point, you know how you have data planners and then you don't use it for 1 day and you kind of feel bad about it.
Yeah.
So that's how we came with undated. And then people were like, I don't want lines because then I can't draw, or I can't do like a perfect, square. And we're like, okay, we'll do dots. So we had a lot of people like saying, I want rigid, I want flexible. And so this is what we came up with.
No, you're actually right, because I don't like getting even calendar planners and then they say, oh, it's for like the year 2021 and like you're only using it from January to December, and then you're like, oh shoot, but then why am I even buying a 2021 calendar in July when I have 6 months left? Like what's the point of me wasting my money on that? Versus this, like even if you do have the 6 months and you end up using it in January, then you skip couple months, then you're in March, and then you're like, oh shoot, August and September and October, I really need to get my life back together. And it allows you to have it all in one space. And actually the 6 month, like how I just described it there, can still show growth. It doesn't have to be 6 consecutive months.
Exactly. Like, absolutely. And at that point, it's like, maybe you have different interests. Like maybe you join a boot camp in the summer and you're like, ooh, now I have homework, even as a professional, right? So exactly.
So what else did your research show you?
Yes. So a lot of people actually, so this planner, the small one, was for on the go. I was like, you know what? It's small, it's sleek. People can just put it in their purse. But most people use their planners at home or the dorm. And I was like, oh, then I can enjoy my spiral. So that's actually when the spiral came in April. So that was one thing. Another thing was, this was something. Okay, so in the one that I sent for free, there was a habit tracker and there was a water intake tracker. And a lot of people were like, oh, but I have water bottles that have the timestamps. Have you seen them before? I have one.
Yeah, it's like 24 ounces, 18, 16. It's like in two increments for ounces.
Yes, and it's like 10 a.m., it's 12 p.m. So at that point, nobody was using the water intake of the planner. So that's something else that changed. Yeah, there was a lot, honestly. Let me see.
But you know what? That's great
Yeah.
because you got a chance to get free research and free data just by like asking friends and, other colleagues and just people in your life that you went to school with and coworkers and just helped you build this planner from real life people.
From real life. Yeah. The last one that I'll share actually is the first planner had daily pages in between the monthly, and people were like, I just want to see a week at least. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll put weekly spreads. There were no weekly spreads before. And then I put like the notes pages as the daily. So that was the last change. Anyway.
I agree with that because I want to see like Sunday through Saturday or Monday through Sunday. I just want to know what I'm doing this week. I get like the day, but I'm not that detailed enough to have like everything of the day, that planned.
Exactly. Exactly.
So Marisol, you do have a Sunday self-care tips text line. The number is 786-746-8026. What is that?
Yes. So that is definitely not for emergencies or life-threatening decisions. But I don't know if you or anyone who's listening, in college, there was something called Ears for Peers. And it was basically other college students that would receive calls from other college students. It was a college-run program. And basically anyone who wanted to talk or needed help, they would call that number and another student would answer. So that was my inspiration. So Ears for Peers, thank you. You've done an amazing job. Just putting it out there as a shout out. So the text line from Strawberry Planner is more focused, and in the sense that like you can text anything about self-care, in which case it can be like, mental health, like physical exercise, nutrition. It's a little more broad, and it's more one-on-one in the sense that like you have our phone number. You can text us directly. You know who's going to answer. We're always going to be there. So anyways, so I came up with it though because I wanted self-care to be the priority for everybody before the dark days and after the dark days, right? So it's a sense of like, I want to talk to someone today, they message, or they can sign up on the Sundays, which if you text Sunday to the number, you get a self-care tip every Sunday. So at that point, it's a little more like hands off. Like you don't have to talk to us. But if you want like a little ping on a Sunday that prepares you for the rest of the week, you just text Sunday at it and you can get Sunday self-care tips. So again, with the flexibility and the rigid, like you can talk to us and, be on the spot and speak to us directly, or you can sit back a little bit, be more flexible and just receive content. So that's the text line.
That's Sunday to 786-746-8026. You can grab any of your Strawberry Planners, whether it's a 1 month or a 6 month, at strawberryplanner.com. Love the fact that they can be customizable as well. You can check them out on Facebook too, Strawberry Planner, and on Instagram, Strawberry Planner. Marisol, thank you so much for showing us this incredible product that came out of your dark days. In a nice way, not trying to put you down.
No, all good. Honestly, it has helped me make so many connections. I have people texting me from like high school, and I was like, whoa. And it was beautiful because I'm connecting with them again. And it's just amazing. It's very beautiful how this community is like growing. So,
it's like, Melissa, I thought you didn't like me. Why are you like, I'm the one helping you now?
You have my number.
Daniel, like, you want to talk to me? You didn't want to sit with me at lunch. What?
Well, not going too far. Like I went to my boyfriend's, like I went with him to the barber shop, and the barber was like, oh my God, like, yes, I work in like mental health as well. And we were vibing during the haircut. So it's making me be able to connect to a lot of people, which is nice.
Once again, you can grab your Strawberry Planner at strawberryplanner.com. For your Sunday self-care tips, the number is 786-746-8026. Marisol, once again, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Brand Ambassador Select podcast.
Thank you. Bye.
Now that's a wrap. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss one. More at brandambassadorselect.com, and we will see you next time.